The message came on a Tuesday. Every screen on Earth showed the same thing at once. Televisions, phones, computers, billboards, all of them flickered and changed to display a symbol no human had ever seen before. It looked like a spiral of stars with strange markings around the edges. "This is a formal contact from the Galactic Council," said a voice that somehow everyone heard in their own language. "You will send 2 representatives to these coordinates in 7 Earth days. This is not a request." The world leaders gathered quickly. After hours of arguing, they chose Captain Jack Freeman and Ambassador Lisa Reed to represent Earth. Jack was a decorated military officer with a calm mind and quick thinking. Lisa was Earth's best diplomat, known for finding peaceful solutions to impossible problems. "I don't like this," Jack said as technicians prepared their ship, a vessel built using instructions included in the alien message. "It feels like a trap." Lisa nodded, her face serious. "Maybe. But we can't ignore them. They took over every screen on the planet at once. Their technology is far beyond ours." 7 days later, their small ship left Earth's atmosphere. Following the strange coordinates, they activated the new drive that bent space around them. Stars blurred, and suddenly they were somewhere else, orbiting a massive space station that shimmered like a diamond in the light of an unfamiliar sun. "It's beautiful," Lisa whispered as their ship was pulled into a docking bay. Guards met them at the airlock, tall beings with scaled skin in shining armor. They didn't speak but gestured for Jack and Lisa to follow. The hallways were filled with aliens of all kinds. Some looked almost human, others were completely different. Floating clouds of gas, insect-like creatures, beings made of what looked like living crystal. All of them stopped to stare at the humans as they passed. "Why do they look at us like that?" Jack whispered. "Like we're dangerous animals." Lisa didn't have time to answer before large doors opened to reveal a circular chamber. Seated in rising tiers were hundreds of alien representatives, all watching them with cold eyes. In the center was a platform where a tall, gray being stood waiting. "The human representatives will step forward," the gray being announced. Its voice was deep and echoed strangely. Jack and Lisa walked to the platform, standing tall despite their fear. "I am Elder Gray, leader of the Galactic Council," the being said. "You have been brought here not as guests, but as accused." "Accused?" Lisa stepped forward. "Of what crime?" Elder Gray waved a long-fingered hand. The air above them filled with images. Earth's wars, nuclear tests, polluted oceans, destroyed forests. Humanity stands accused of being inherently violent, unpredictable, and dangerous to the stability of the galaxy. Elder Gray said, "For centuries, we have observed your development. You create beauty with one hand and destruction with the other. You speak of peace while building weapons that could destroy your own world." Jack felt his face grow hot with anger. "You've been watching us all this time. Why not help us? Guide us?" A murmur ran through the watching aliens. "That is not our way," Elder Gray replied. "All species must evolve without interference. We only intervene when a species becomes a potential threat to others." "And you think we're a threat?" Lisa asked. "We haven't even developed technology to leave our own solar system properly." Elder Gray's large eyes blinked slowly. "It is not what you are now, but what you will become. Your species adapts faster than any we have encountered. Your technological progress in the last century alone would take most species 1,000 years." New images appeared, projections showing human ships spreading across the stars, conflicts with alien species, resources being stripped from worlds. "These are just guesses," Jack protested, "not facts. You can't judge us on what you think we might do." Lisa placed a calming hand on his arm. "Elder Gray, with respect, humanity has made mistakes, yes, but we learn from them. Our history shows not just violence, but also great compassion, art, sacrifice for others. We have potential for good as well as harm." She gestured to the images still floating above. "Show them the other side. Show them our music, Our medicine, how we care for each other. Elder Gray paused, then waved again. New images appeared. Humans helping each other after disasters, doctors saving lives, people from different countries working together. For a moment, Lisa felt hope. But then Elder Gray spoke again. The Council has reviewed all evidence, both promising and concerning. We have debated for decades about humanity's place in the galactic community. The chamber grew very quiet. The final vote was cast yesterday. By majority decision, humanity is deemed too unpredictable and potentially dangerous for free interaction with galactic society. Jack stepped forward. What does that mean? It means, Elder Gray said coldly, that Earth and your entire solar system will be placed under quarantine. No ships in or out, no communication with other worlds, no sharing of technology or knowledge. You're imprisoning our entire species. Jack's voice rose in anger. We prefer to call it protective isolation, Elder Gray replied. The quarantine will remain until humanity proves it can control its violent nature. And how long will that take? Lisa asked, struggling to keep her voice steady. That depends on you. Previous quarantines have lasted anywhere from 200 to 5,000 years. A shocked silence fell between the humans. The decision is final, Elder Gray continued. You will be returned to Earth to deliver this message. The barrier will be activated one Earth day after your arrival. Lisa tried one last appeal. Please, reconsider. At least give us a chance to. The Council has spoken, Elder Gray interrupted. This session is concluded. As guards approached to escort them out, a small alien with blue skin brushed past Jack. Something small and metal was pressed into his hand. Not all agree, the alien whispered quickly. I am Mork. Find a way to contact me. Jack closed his fist around the object, hiding it from view as they were led back to their ship. The return journey was silent. Lisa worked on how to explain this to Earth's leaders. Jack examined the small device Mork had given him. Some kind of data storage with strange symbols on it. As Earth came into view, beautiful and blue against the blackness of space, Lisa finally spoke. This isn't the end. They've underestimated us. Jack nodded, still holding the small device. They think they're locking us away. But maybe they'd just given us the motivation we needed to become something greater. One day, Lisa said, looking at their home planet, they'll regret making humanity their enemy. What neither of them knew was how soon that day would come. 5 years passed since the barrier went up around Earth's solar system. From the outside, it looked like a faint blue bubble stretching far beyond Pluto's orbit. From the inside, it felt like a prison. The day after the barrier appeared, all deep space communications stopped. Satellites beyond a certain orbit went dead. Any ship that tried to approach the edge of the solar system hit what felt like a solid wall. But humans are not good at accepting cages. The world's governments put aside their differences and formed the Human Alliance. Old enemies became partners with one goal: break through the barrier and show the Galactic Council they had made a terrible mistake. Jack Freeman now led the Alliance's defense division. His office walls were covered with barrier analysis data and star maps. On his desk sat the alien device from Mork, now partly taken apart. Captain, Dr. Wilson is here, his assistant announced. Tom Wilson walked in, carrying a tablet and looking excited. The physicist hadn't slept in days, judging by his messy hair and wrinkled clothes. We did it, Jack, he said, not bothering with formalities. We finally cracked Mork's data. Jack stood up quickly. You can read it. What does it say? Tom placed his tablet on the desk, showing complex diagrams. It's the barrier specifications. And better yet, it shows how the barrier works. It's not solid all the time. It pulses. There are microsecond gaps we could slip through if our timing is perfect. Could we get a ship through? A small one, yes, for about 3 seconds every 6 days. Just enough time. Jack smiled for the first time in months. Get Lisa on the call. It's time for the next phase. 3 months later, deep underground in a secret facility, a sleek ship waited in a launch bay. The Defiance was humanity's most advanced vessel, built with technology reverse-engineered from studying the barrier itself. Lisa Reed, now Director of Alien Relations, inspected the final preparations. Since returning from the Council, she had dedicated herself to understanding alien cultures and technology. "The ship is ready," Jack said, joining her on the observation deck. "Small crew, just as planned. Me, you, Dr. Wilson, and 4 of our best specialists." Lisa nodded. "If we succeed, we'll be the first humans beyond the barrier since it went up. And if we fail?" She looked at him with determination. "We won't. Humanity is counting on us." The launch happened at night, with only essential personnel knowing about it. The Defiance shot into space, accelerating faster than any human ship before it. They had one chance to hit the barrier at exactly the right moment. "Barrier approaching in 30 seconds," Tom announced from his station. "The gap will appear in exactly 28 seconds and stay open for 3. Jack gripped his chair. "Everyone ready? This will be rough." The blue wall of energy filled their view screen. It looked impossible to penetrate. 5 seconds. Tom counted down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Jack pushed the engines to maximum. The ship shuddered as it hit the edge of the barrier. For a terrible moment, nothing happened. Then, with a flash of light, they broke through. Stars surrounded them, stars no human had seen in 5 years. "We did it," Lisa whispered. "We're free." Finding a safe place was their first priority. They couldn't risk the Council discovering them immediately. They needed somewhere to hide, to build, to plan. They found it in an abandoned asteroid field around a dying star, far from major trade routes but close enough to gather intelligence. They named it Haven. "It's not much," Jack said as they set up the first habitat modules inside a large asteroid. "But it's a start." Over the next few months, they converted the asteroid into a base. Using technology from Mork's device, they built sensors that could detect Council ships and hide from them. Tom focused on creating a stable portal that could communicate with Earth through the barrier. If they could establish reliable contact, they could coordinate better. Lisa had the most dangerous job, making contact with potential allies. Wearing a disguise to hide her human features, she visited a trading post 3 systems away. "Be careful," Jack told her before she left. "If anyone discovers you're human." "I know," she said, "but we need friends out here. Mork can't be the only one who disagrees with the Council." Her first trip was successful. She returned with news that surprised everyone. "The Council isn't as united as they wanted us to believe," she reported to the team. "Many species think our quarantine was too harsh. Some are openly questioning Elder Gray's leadership." "Potential allies?" Jack asked. "Better than that. I met a trader from the Bolt species. They're technology specialists who voted against our quarantine. They're willing to meet." Tom looked up from his work. "The Bolt. Their tech is supposedly centuries ahead of even the Council standard." "Exactly," Lisa smiled. "And they're interested in what humans might offer." "What could we possibly have that interests an advanced species?" one of the specialists asked. Jack understood immediately. "Innovation. Creativity. We solve problems differently than they do." "Precisely." Lisa nodded. "The Bolt representative told me they've been using the same technology for 1,000 years, just making small improvements. They've lost the ability to think in new directions. So we trade ideas for technology." Tom asked. "And information," Lisa added. "They'll help us build a network, find more allies." Over the next year, Haven grew from a simple base to a thriving outpost. More small ships from Earth made it through the barrier at the precise moments when gaps appeared. Each brought more people, more resources. Jack established a smuggling network, using ships designed to look like alien vessels. They began moving human goods, art, music, even simple inventions, to worlds where curious aliens eagerly traded for them. These alien worlds discovered something surprising. Human products were different, unique, interesting. A black market for Earth goods spread across nearby systems. With each successful mission, with each new ally, humanity's reach extended further beyond their prison. In a secret meeting room on Haven, Jack and Lisa met with representatives from 6 different alien species. All had come to the same conclusion. The quarantine of humanity was a mistake. "The Council fears what you might become," said the Bolt representative, a tall being with metallic skin. "And after seeing what you've accomplished in just 1 year beyond the barrier, perhaps they were right to fear you." "We don't want conflict," Lisa assured them. "We just want our freedom." "The Council won't give it willingly," another alien said. "They've invested too much in keeping you contained." Jack looked at the star map showing their growing network of allies and outposts. "Then we'll have to take it. And to do that, we need to become what they fear most." "Which is?" the Bolt asked. Jack's eyes reflected the starlight as he answered. "Unstoppable." 10 years into the quarantine, Earth looked different. Not just in small ways, but fundamentally changed. When the barrier first went up, panic spread. How would humanity survive without the stars? What would happen when resources ran out? But humans don't stay afraid for long. They get busy. Maria Diaz walked through her test field, touching the plants that grew in soil that once was dead. Before the quarantine, she had been an environmental engineer trying to save dying ecosystems. Now she led Earth's most important project. "The 3rd test zone is ready for inspection," her assistant said, handing her a tablet with the latest readings. Maria nodded, looking at the barren area beyond her green field. Tomorrow, it would be transformed too. Her creation, microecosystems, were tiny biological machines. Each smaller than a grain of sand, they spread through dead soil, cleaning toxins, balancing nutrients, and preparing the ground for new life. What once took nature centuries, Maria's invention did in weeks. The Sahara Desert was already 30% green. Antarctica had farms. The oceans were cleaner than they had been in 1,000 years. "Director Diaz," a voice called. She turned to see a government car approaching. "The Alliance Council requests your presence. It's urgent." On Haven, beyond the barrier, Jack Freeman no longer looked like the military captain who first visited the Council. His hair had gray streaks now, and lines marked his face. But his eyes burned with the same determination. The outpost had grown into a small city hidden inside the asteroid. Nearly 5,000 humans lived there now, along with several hundred alien allies. Ships came and went daily, disguised as regular traders, but actually spreading human influence farther into the galaxy. "The phase shift drive is finally stable," Dr. Wilson announced in the command center. His invention was humanity's newest breakthrough, a drive system that briefly shifted ships slightly out of normal space, making them invisible to Council sensors. "Can it be installed in all our ships?" Jack asked. "The smaller ones, yes. The larger cargo vessels will need more time." Lisa entered, returning from a diplomatic mission. 10 years of secret work had changed her too. She moved with the confidence of someone who navigated dangerous situations daily. "We'd have a problem," she said without greeting. "Council enforcement ships are increasing patrols in the Nexus sectors. 3 of our supply routes are compromised." Jack frowned. "They're getting suspicious." Worse, Lisa placed a data chip on the table. "They have informants looking for human activity. Rumors about our technology are spreading." The door opened again, and a blue-skinned alien entered. Mork, whose help years ago had made everything possible. He had officially defected to the human cause and now served as their chief intelligence officer. "My sources in the Council confirm it," Mork said. "Elder Gray has launched a special investigation. They know humans have broken quarantine, but they don't know how extensive our network is." Jack studied the star map showing their operations. "We need to accelerate our plans. Tom, how soon can we deploy the phase shift technology to our key outposts?" 2 months, if we push hard. Make it one. Back on Earth, Maria sat in the Alliance Council chamber, looking at the faces of Earth's leaders. The situation beyond the barrier is becoming critical, the Council President explained. Our Haven outpost reports Council forces are searching for human activity. It's only a matter of time before they find something. What does this have to do with my work? Maria asked. Everything. The President activated a screen showing planets with harsh environments. These are worlds where Council influence is weakest. Mostly dead or dying planets no one wants. Our intelligence suggests if we could make these worlds habitable, we could create safe havens beyond Council control. Maria understood immediately. You want to use my microecosystems off-world. Can it be done? She thought for a moment. Yes, with modifications, but we'd need to test them on similar environments first. You'll have whatever resources you need, the President said. This could change everything. In deep space, a small human scout ship detected a Council enforcement vessel approaching. The captain activated their new phase shift drive, and the ship flickered, becoming partially out of sync with normal space. The Council ship passed by without detecting them. It was the first real test of Dr. Wilson's invention, and it worked perfectly. But as the human ship shifted back to normal space, something went wrong. A power surge created a visible energy flare. The Council ship turned around immediately. They've seen us, the human pilot reported to Haven, attempting evasive maneuvers. The scout ship fled, using its advanced engines to stay ahead of the larger Council vessel. For hours, they played a dangerous game of hide and seek through an asteroid field. Finally, the scout escaped, but the Council ship had captured enough sensor data to confirm what they feared. Humans had broken quarantine and possessed technology that shouldn't be possible for them. On Haven, Jack called an emergency meeting. Our time in the shadows is ending, he told the assembled leaders. The Council now has proof we're operating beyond the barrier. Do we abandon our outposts? Someone asked. No, Jack's voice was firm. We accelerate. Every ship gets phase shift technology. Every allied world gets Maria's microecosystems. We need to be too established to stop by the time they mobilize against us. Lisa had just returned from another mission. I've made contact with 3 more species who are interested in our ecosystem technology. Worlds the Council abandoned as useless could become ours. What about direct confrontation? Mork asked. The Council fleet is still far stronger than anything we have. Dr. Wilson stepped forward. Maybe not for long. He activated a hologram showing a new ship design. If we combine our phase shift technology with what we've learned from our Bolt allies, we could create vessels that can outmaneuver anything the Council has. How many can we build in 6 months? Jack asked. With our current facilities, maybe 20. Start with 5. Quality over quantity. As the meeting ended, Lisa stayed behind with Jack. 10 years ago, they locked us away, thinking they were containing a problem. She said, looking at the star map showing human influence spreading across dozens of systems. Instead, they forced us to become something new. Jack nodded. The Council feared what humanity might become if left unchecked. He gestured to the reports of their technological breakthroughs, their growing network of allies, the worlds being transformed by Maria's technology. They were right to be afraid. The Council chamber was in chaos. Representatives from 30 different species shouted over each other as Elder Gray tried to maintain order. The evidence is clear, he finally announced, his voice cutting through the noise. Humans have broken quarantine. They are operating throughout our territories, using technology they should not possess. A hologram appeared, showing footage of human ships using phase shift technology, disappearing and reappearing in space. More concerning, Elder Gray continued, they are changing planets we deemed uninhabitable. The image changed to show a barren world rapidly transforming, plants spreading across its surface in a matter of days. How is this possible? Asked one council member. Unknown, Elder Gray replied. But it threatens the balance we have maintained for millennia. I am activating Emergency Protocol 7. All Council enforcement ships will be mobilized to locate and eliminate human outposts. Only 3 Council members voted against the decision. Agent Blue was the Council's best investigator. Cold, methodical, and relentless, he had tracked down smugglers and pirates across the galaxy. Now he had a new target: humans. His ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel near a small trading outpost where suspicious activity had been reported. He didn't wear the usual Council uniform, instead dressing as a common trader. For 3 days, he watched and listened. On the 4th day, he noticed a pattern. Certain ships arrived with unmarked cargo, met with the same contacts, and left quickly. He followed one such ship as it departed, tracking it through 2 star systems before it disappeared from his sensors. But Agent Blue was patient. He waited, recording the exact location. 6 hours later, another ship appeared in nearly the same spot, seemingly out of nowhere. Agent Blue's instruments caught a brief energy signature, different from any he had seen before. He adjusted his sensors based on this reading and waited for the next ship. This time, when the ship activated its phase shift, he could faintly track it. The trail led to a dense asteroid field around a dying star, perfect for hiding a base. "There you are," Agent Blue whispered as his scanners detected energy readings from inside one of the largest asteroids. Jack was reviewing the latest reports from Earth when alarms blared throughout Haven. "Unidentified ship approaching," announced the security officer. "It's using Council scanning patterns but not broadcasting Council IDs." "An investigator," Jack said. "They found us sooner than expected. Activate defensive systems." Outside, hidden weapons platforms powered up, targeting the approaching vessel. "Wait," Lisa said, joining Jack in the command center. "If we destroy a Council ship, they'll send a fleet next time. We need to know what they know." Jack considered this. "You're right. Disable their ship but keep it intact. Bring the pilot in." Agent Blue was surprised when his engines suddenly failed. Before he could send a distress signal, his communications were jammed. His ship was pulled toward the asteroid by tractor beams. When the airlock opened, he found himself facing armed humans and their alien allies. "Council investigator," Jack said, looking at the tall, thin alien with pale skin. "Welcome to Haven. Sorry about your ship." For 3 days, Agent Blue refused to speak during interrogation. On the 4th day, Lisa tried a different approach. "We're not going to harm you," she said, entering his cell alone and unarmed. "That's not our way. But we need to understand why the Council fears us so much." Agent Blue stared at her with large black eyes. Finally, he spoke. "The Council does not fear you. Elder Gray fears you, and those who profit from the current order." "What do you mean?" "Your quarantine was never about protecting the galaxy from human violence," Agent Blue said. "It was about protecting the status quo." Over the next hours, Agent Blue revealed the truth. The Council had existed for over 10,000 years, dominated by the same 5 species. They maintained their power by controlling the flow of technology and resources. "Your kind adapts too quickly," he explained. "In the centuries we observed Earth, you went from horse-drawn carriages to space stations. What other species took millennia to achieve, you did in a few generations. That's why they isolated us. Because we learned too fast." Elder Gray's projections showed that within 300 years of joining galactic society, humans would surpass the technology level of the ruling species. The quarantine was designed to keep you contained until your civilization either collapsed or stagnated. Lisa was stunned. That's monstrous." "It is politics," Agent Blue replied simply. "I enforce Council law, but even I can see that this decision was wrong." He hesitated, then added, "There is more. Many Council members were not told the true reason for your quarantine. They were shown only images of your wars and told you were too violent to join galactic society. So the Council itself doesn't know the truth. Many would oppose Elder Gray if they knew, especially now, seeing what you've accomplished despite the barrier." Jack called an emergency meeting after hearing Lisa's report. If what Agent Blue says is true, we have a chance to split the council, he said. But we need proof. Agent Blue, now cooperating, spoke up. The evidence exists in the council's secure archives, records of the real deliberations, Elder Gray's projections, the true vote tally. Can you access these archives? Jack asked. Not alone, but I know the systems. Mork leaned forward. I still have friends inside the council. If we combine their access with Agent Blue's knowledge. Jack nodded. A small team then. Agent Blue, myself, and Mork. We infiltrate the council station and find the proof. It's a huge risk, Lisa warned. If you're caught. We're out of options, Jack replied. The council is mobilizing its fleet. We've detected increased activity near the barrier. They're preparing to attack Earth directly. Maria Diaz joined the meeting via hologram from Earth. Behind her, fields of green stretched across what had once been wasteland. My technology is ready for deployment on a galactic scale, she reported. We've successfully transformed 3 test planets beyond the barrier. The results are even better than we hoped. Jack looked at the images of barren worlds blooming with life. That's our real strength, he said. Not just our ships or weapons. We can heal worlds the Council abandoned. Make the uninhabitable habitable. And that, Agent Blue said quietly, is precisely what Elder Gray fears most. You offer an alternative to Council control. 3 days later, a small ship left Haven, carrying Jack, Agent Blue, and Mork. Using the phase shift technology and Agent Blue's Council codes, they planned to infiltrate the heart of the organization that had condemned humanity. Their mission: find the truth and let the galaxy hear it. The Galactic Council headquarters shimmered like a diamond against the blackness of space. Inside, Elder Gray stood before a large view screen showing the Council fleet assembling. Over 100 warships prepared for their mission. A direct strike against Earth to end the human problem once and for all. Is this necessary? Asked a council member from a peaceful species. Reports say humans are simply terraforming dead worlds. They harm no one. You don't understand their true nature, Elder Gray replied sharply. Each world they claim expands their influence. Their technology spreads too quickly. The quarantine has failed, so we must take more permanent measures. What Elder Gray didn't know was that at that very moment, 3 infiltrators were making their way through the station's maintenance tunnels. Jack, Mork, and Agent Blue moved silently, avoiding security patrols. Using Agent Blue's access codes and Mork's knowledge of the station layout, they reached the central archive, a vast room filled with glowing data crystals. The evidence should be in the restricted section, Agent Blue whispered, pointing to a sealed door. Elder Gray keeps the most sensitive records there. Mork worked quickly to bypass the security system. The door slid open, revealing a smaller room with a single console. We have 30 minutes before the security system resets, Mork warned. After that, alarms will sound. Jack nodded. Let's make it count. On Earth, Lisa addressed the Human Alliance Council via secure transmission from Haven. Jack's team has infiltrated the Council station, she reported. If they succeed, we'll have the evidence we need. But we must prepare for the worst. Maria Diaz stood up. My team has prepared packages of microecosystems for all our allied worlds. If the Council attacks, we can activate them immediately, securing those planets for our allies. And our defenses? Asked the Alliance president. 20 ships with phase shift technology are in position near Jupiter, Lisa replied. If Council ships break through the barrier, that's where we'll make our stand. So few against so many? Someone asked. Lisa's expression remained confident. Sometimes it's not about numbers. Jack downloaded file after file from the archive console, revealing the truth behind humanity's quarantine. Listen to this, he said, playing an audio recording of Elder Gray speaking to his inner circle 15 years ago. These humans are unlike any species we've encountered. Their adaptability threatens everything we've built. The 5 ruling species have maintained control for 10,000 years by carefully managing technological advancement. Humans could upset that balance within a few centuries. Quarantine is our only option. And here, Jack continued, finding the original vote record. The full council never approved the quarantine. Only the ruling 5 voted, and they falsified the records. "We need to broadcast this to everyone," Mork said. Agent Blue accessed the station's communication system. "We can use the emergency channel. It reaches every council world simultaneously." "How long?" Jack asked. 5 minutes to set up. But once we start broadcasting, security will locate us immediately." Jack looked at the countdown timer. "We'll be cutting it close. Do it." In the council chamber, Elder Gray was finalizing attack plans when every screen suddenly changed. The faces of Jack, Mork, and Agent Blue appeared, with the council's own classified files scrolling beside them. "People of the galactic community," Jack began, "I am Captain Jack Freeman of Earth. What you're seeing are the council's own secret records about humanity's quarantine." Elder Gray jumped to his feet. "Cut the transmission. Find them." But the broadcast continued as security teams raced through the station. "Humanity was not isolated because we were violent," Jack continued. "We were isolated because we adapt too quickly, because Elder Gray and the ruling species feared we would disrupt their control." The evidence played across every screen on every council world. The secret meetings, the falsified votes, Elder Gray's own words condemning humanity not for its flaws but for its potential. While imprisoned, we didn't give up. We created technology to heal dead worlds. Technology we offer freely to all species, not just the privileged few. Security forces broke into the archive room just as the transmission ended. Jack, Mork, and Agent Blue were surrounded, but they didn't resist. They had accomplished their mission. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives from dozens of species demanded answers, their voices rising in anger. "Is this true?" demanded the representative from a world suffering from environmental collapse. "You denied us access to technology that could save our planet." "You lied to all of us," accused another. "Humans were never a threat to the galaxy, only to your power." Elder Gray tried to regain control. "The attack fleet will proceed as planned. Earth must be." "No." The word came from an unexpected source. The commander of the council fleet appeared on the main view screen. "My ships will not attack innocent people based on lies." The fleet stands down. One by one, council representatives denounced Elder Gray and called for an emergency vote. Within hours, the leadership of the 5 ruling species was removed, and a new interim council formed. Near Jupiter, the phase shift ships detected movement. The barrier around the solar system flickered and vanished. "The barrier is down," reported the captain of the lead ship. "But I'm detecting incoming vessels." Lisa, who had returned to Earth to coordinate their defense, waited tensely. Then a transmission came through. "People of Earth," said the interim council leader, "we extend our deepest apologies for the injustice done to your species. The quarantine is lifted. We invite Earth to join a new galactic assembly, where all species have equal voice." 20 years after being declared outlaws, humanity celebrated. The new galactic assembly headquarters orbited Earth, a symbol of the new era. Jack, now with fully gray hair and the title of Earth's first galactic ambassador, stood with Lisa and Maria on the observation deck of Earth's main spaceport. Below them, ships from 100 worlds came and went freely. "They tried to contain us," Jack said, watching a group of alien children playing with human children in one of Maria's terraformed parks. "Instead, they'd made us stronger." "Not just us," Lisa added. "The whole galaxy is changing. Worlds that were dying are being reborn. Species that never worked together are building something new." Maria smiled, looking at the green fields that had once been desert. "Sometimes you have to be pushed to your limits to discover what you're truly capable of." On the far side of the galaxy, a monument now stood on the world where humans had first been judged. It bore a simple message in the languages of 1,000 species. Outlawed by the Galactic Council, humanity rose stronger than ever and lifted all others with them.